Hey guys, welcome back to the Shaw's Adi channel where I help individuals fulfill their potentials. And if you were with me last week, we talked about everything CV, and I really do hope that you found it helpful. But today we're going to be talking about job applications. Yeah? And remember, you guys are now recruiters with me, so we're all thinking like recruiters. And I'm going to be giving you the tea on how to get noticed in terms of your job applications by hiring managers or by recruiters. And so if you've done your CV, you have good feedback, you're ready to go, congratulations. It's now time to start applying for jobs. And let's get straight into it. I have a couple of points that I want to go over, and in this video, I'll actually be showing you how to do it. So grab your laptops and let's do it together. The first point is, now that you've basically gotten your CV done, if you were a recruiter and you had applications coming through, won't your attention span focus mainly on the first few applications that come in? It will, because you're a human being. As human beings, our attention span is quite short. So what typically happens is once a job opens, floodgates come in, and we have hundreds of applications coming in the first 48 hours. The truth is, usually, a lot of times, the recruiters will focus on those CVs first, before they go on the next couple of weeks talking about or reviewing other CVs. And that is why, as we are recruiters, we have to hack the game with them, right? And we also have to ensure that we are applying first and making sure our application goes through, the very first few applicants so that the recruiter notices us. So how do we do it? The first step is actually going on your LinkedIn, and I'm hoping and praying that we all have LinkedIn and your LinkedIn is well done. You go on your LinkedIn, if you click on the job icon on the top right, it takes you to the job page where you search available opportunities. On your search bar, you search the title of the position you want. And then on the top left of the page, you'll see an icon called Date Posted. This is where you filter the jobs and how recent they have been posted. The best one you should select is past 24 hours, and it will show you all the results of jobs that have just been posted in the last 24 hours. That should be your target when you're applying for jobs. Jobs that are hot on the market and have just landed. So your application is saying quickly, if you have a very good CV and is the type of CV the recruiter would want to see, you have higher chances of actually being called for an interview versus you applying for a job that was posted a month ago. By that time, after a month, they've probably really progressed through the process and they're towards the end, but they're fulfilling righteousness basically by keeping the job open, even though the recruitment process is way underway. So the first tip is making sure that you apply for the first jobs that have just been posted, and I have shown you how to do this in this video. Now, the next step is taking advantage of your network when you're applying. I always say you should start with your friends and listing out in an Excel sheet all the organizations all your friends work in, or wherever the location is, list them out. Then next is your professional network. List everything out, their names, their emails, and the organizations they work in. The next level is then the alumni of all the universities or schools or professional courses that you've done. List everybody out. Now, once you've listed them, we'll go back to LinkedIn. Yep, we're going back to LinkedIn. And go on LinkedIn, search the company page they work for. And how to do this, I'll show you now. So you go on the Jobs tab. For the purpose of the roadshow, we will use LinkedIn as our company of interest. So say your friend works in LinkedIn, for instance, you put LinkedIn in the search bar. You will see interested in working with us in the future. Click I am interested. The next step is to click on show all jobs and switch on the toggle for set alert. This way, any new position that comes up in that organization of your friend, your network, colleague or ex-colleague, whatever, you'll be the first to know. LinkedIn will notify you once a job has been posted on that company page. That way, and you would also get an email. That way, any role that shows up that is similar to what you're looking for, you can quickly reach out to your network. Let them know that you're interested in the position. Most times, I wouldn't just say send them a message, especially if they're close to you. I would say, hop on a call with them, let them know you're interested in a chat. When you're chatting with them, let them know you saw this job, you got an alert for this job, and you like them to refer you for the position. The truth is, many organizations, I wouldn't generalize, I wouldn't say all, referrals hold more weight than just a general application. So you're better off positioned if you're being referred for the role. Also, many times, many organizations give compensation for employees who refer candidates successfully. And it's quite a handsome bonus in many organizations. So quite a number of people will be interested in referring you, especially if they think you're actually going to be amazing in their organization. So I would say take advantage of your network. Don't underestimate, how much it can go when you are being referred for a job. And that's the best way to go about it, is getting job alerts from that company, because immediately they drop, you would know, you'll be able to reach out to them, you let them know that you're interested. Now, my next point is for those who are fresh out of uni or you don't have much people within your network. The next tip I would say is still on LinkedIn. Probably think of getting LinkedIn Premium in expanding your network within LinkedIn. If you have the budget for it. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. It's not a requirement. But if you do have the budget for it, it's important to bear in mind that, once you've started to list out organizations you want to work for, you can then begin to reach out to people within those organizations using LinkedIn Premium. What is LinkedIn Premium? LinkedIn Premium is a paid service. It's not the general LinkedIn. It gives you access to 5 emails. I think this is the cheapest version that they have. It gives you access to 5 emails being able to reach out directly to someone, even though you don't have their, email or, direct number. It gives you access to actually send them an email. So use LinkedIn Premium and go on the company, you're interested in, and reach out to the hiring team. Secondly, if you don't have, people within your network that much, I would say that you should go to the jobs tab of the company you're interested in. If you click on the selected jobs and scroll down, you would see a section that highlights the hiring team. And with LinkedIn Premium, you have access to actually message that recruiter directly. Not all jobs will have this feature. It is for certain jobs. Some organizations actually put the recruiter for that job. So if you have LinkedIn Premium, it would give you access to directly reaching out to the recruiter. Another key way is reaching out to the hiring managers directly by researching the company website or LinkedIn for the possible head of the team that you're looking to join. In most company websites, you have the name of the team, names of people within the team and the organization, and sometimes they do put their contact details there. But if they don't, just copy their names, paste it on LinkedIn, search that individual, and if you have LinkedIn Premium, you can reach out to the person directly through an email. And if you don't have LinkedIn Premium, it's fine. You can connect, but in this instance, rather than connecting directly, ensure that you select the connection that allows you to add a note when sending a message. This way you can quickly, briefly introduce yourself to the hiring manager and then send your connection request. Now, the next step I want to talk about is the format of your message when you're actually reaching out to the hiring manager or a recruiter. Again, you have to remember what we discussed in the first episode. You have to see yourself as a brand. So if you're introducing yourself on LinkedIn and you're sending a message directly to a hiring manager or a recruiter, that message has to be impactful. It has to be short, it has to be concise and straight to the point. But again, the word impactful. There are certain people that have reached out to me regarding jobs, and that messaging grabbed my attention. I get messages daily regarding jobs, people reaching out directly to me, or they're interested in this job, etc. However, there are certain candidates that grab my attention that I actually respond to much quicker than the other messages, because their message reached what I was looking for in the job description. And that's what the key is. Again, you are a brand. So whatever impression that you're leaving, you want to make a lasting impression. Now let's talk about the format of this message. Your message should have this flow. A quick greeting, a high-level introduction to yourself and why you reached out, and what role you're interested in and why you believe you're a good fit for their team. By looking at the job description, you'll be able to highlight 2 or 3 things that this hiring manager is looking for. And that is what you're drawing out in your message, saying that, you saw this job description, 2 things stood out to you, and this is what you have been able to do with your current role and the impact you've made regarding that skill set that they're looking for. And then end with an action saying, you would like an opportunity to have a chat with them directly or be put forward for an interview with the team, and then thank them for their time. I would say if you don't get a response back, it's fine. Again, this is just part of the game. The game is the game. But I would say maybe follow up after a week if you don't have a response. After a week, if you still don't have a response, please leave it. Don't pester the person, don't pester the recruiter, don't pester the hiring manager. If you were a recruiter, you wouldn't like that. It would leave a sour taste in your mouth. So that is a suggestion I'll give. Next tip, and my final tip for today, is to have a job tracker. It's quite shocking. Many times I have conversations with people looking for jobs and they don't have a tracker. The reason why you need a tracker is 1, to be able to carry out research into the organization and industry that you're interested in. It makes you more intentional. 3, your follow-up game will be tight when you have a tracker, because you know what you've applied for. You're able to follow up. You're able to reach out to the hiring manager or the recruiter if you don't have a response. And if you're interested in like a template, you don't know what this looks like, or you're not sure how to create one, again, drop your email in the link provided in the description box, and I'll be able to share one with you. But it's essential to have a tracker, because in that tracker, you're able to outline all the jobs you're applying for, any research you've done into the organization, searching out, the recruiters that you can find, the hiring managers, and then, updates regarding your progress with that application. And then, being able to go back and follow up for jobs you've applied for or haven't gotten a response. Or even if you've gotten feedback and you didn't get it, quite frankly, I have sometimes candidates who didn't get a job for a role, but because they followed up and checked in and how they approached it with me, I had them in mind for another role. So it's actually quite good. So those are all the tips I have to do regarding job applications. I'm sure that with these tips that I have shared regarding LinkedIn, having a job tracker, being the first to apply, especially within the first 24 hours, because you're a hot cake, you're going to be better positioned for success when you're, hunting for your job. So thank you so much once again for getting to the end of this video with me. Thank you for your time. Again, if you know anyone who is also in the journey, please share with them. I'm their recruiter sister through this process. If anyone has been going through, recruitment process, you're getting rejections through your job applications, please don't be discouraged. Like I said in the last video, what is yours will find you. And by God's grace, we'll be able to testify before the end of the series. And even at the end of the series, I would love to hear how some of you have implemented some of these things or tips that I have shared and how it's worked for you. That would be amazing. So leave comments in the comment section, like, subscribe, help my ministry. I'm very new to this game, so yes, please do. That would be amazing. And I hope you have a lovely weekend and see you next weekend. Take care.